How to make your future self proud. Welcome to my channel again. I'm Olumide Akintayo. Imagine you could time travel. What would be one single decision that you would like to make the future self proud? For me, it would be to be aggressive about investing into assets. Recently, I was at the Lagos Business School, and I remember that the first time I came to that region was in the year 2007. I came for what they call information session, and everywhere around the axis was bush. I remember vividly 2007, and now that whole place is city. So if I could time travel to go back, I'll get some few plots around there. So I'll be more aggressive. That's one of the best decisions I would like to take to make my future self proud if I could go back in time. And I know, it's usually not an easy decision to take. It's usually easier said than done because there are lots of things that distract you from helping you build an asset portfolio that you will be proud of in the future. A good one, which we'll talk about later, is family and friends. People who will always ask and ask and ask. Takers have no limits. It's you that will set the limits for them. One of the talents and the skills that you will need to learn is the ability to say no. Is it not okay to help your loved ones? It's always okay to reach out, but not at the expense of building a life that all of you will enjoy in the future. And I'll share again another story that happened to me a long time ago that solidified this principle in my heart. It was my late mom died, and automatically I became the head of the family. So all my siblings had to come stay with me. Before we could access our gratuity, some monies were released, and immediately those monies came, there were lots of bills that seems very, very important and needed to be settled. And we settled those bills. But guess what? It was the biggest mistake I made because we suffered for those decisions. The best decision, with the benefit of hindsight now, will have been to take part of that money to have an investment. So that taught me a lesson that when money comes to your hand, the first thing that you must learn to think about is investment. Again, we will talk about that further later. But why should you take your asset building very, very serious? I have some few points here and there, but I'll try to talk about some of them. Number one is that you will not always be young. Have you ever thought about that? You will not always be young. This energy you have now to work, you will not always have it. Just take a minute to think about that. Many years ago, I tell people it was always easier for me to travel. 1 minute I've hit the road, I'm going up north. By the way, most of my businesses are up north. It's always easier in my building up stage. I will always be eager to travel. I know all Nigerian roads by traveling. But guess what? Now I don't have that strength any longer. For most of my journeys, I take flight. Okay, you will not always have this energy, this youth that you have now. That is the reason you need to take asset building now. My story is a good example. Just take that as a honest truth from me. I have been there and done that. This energy you have now will not always be there. That's my number one reason why you need to take asset building very, very seriously right now. The younger you are, that's the best time to start taking risks, doing experiments, making mistakes. Number two reason is that the assets that you are able to build now is the security and the insurance for your future. If there's an insurance policy that you need, the best insurance policy that you need is the assets that you are able to secure for yourself now. The older I get, the more I discover that people take what I just said now very lightly. And as many who take it lightly, many of them grow up old, regretting how they lived their young life. I often tell people, when you see people struggle towards their old age, ask them what they did with their youth. The best way to secure your old age is to insure it now by building assets for yourself. The hard work that you are doing now must translate into wealth for you in the future, not convenience now. If you enjoy now, you will suffer later. If you sacrifice now, you will enjoy later. I did a video earlier where I talk about that. You can still enjoy even into your 30s and your 40s, okay? But it's better to enjoy out of your assets. The concept of luxury should be what you take out of assets, not what you take from your hard work. Your hard work should not be what translates to luxury. Your assets should be what is funding your luxury lifestyle, not your hard work. So what your hard work should be doing is to fund your assets. Those assets over time will in turn fund the luxury that you desire. I will give a personal story in regards to that later. Let me give you one more reason why you should take asset building very, very seriously, and this is very dear to me. Every human being must give his children and loved ones a better life than he got. That's another reason. You want to build an asset for yourself very early so that you can build and give your loved ones and your children a better life than you were given. I believe strongly this is how success as a parent should be measured. One of the key points to measure your success as a parent is whether you are able to give your children and your loved ones a better life than you got. If you fail in this regard, you probably have failed already. It's something that you need to take very seriously, and not just that, you want to instruct your children also to transfer it to their children. So you give them a better life than you got, and they too should give their children a better life than they got, and let the circle continue. That is how you make prosperity transgenerational. Make it a principle in your family. So you are not only doing it, you are teaching your children. As I'm already telling my children, teaching them, I've given you a better life than my parents gave me, and it's your duty to give your children a better life than I am giving you. So that's a challenge for them already. As young as they are, I'm already sinking into their head, and so the circle can continue. You know, when they say, that family is a rich family, it's actually started from somebody who ensured that poverty ended, but ensured that poverty is transferred and knowledge is transferred. So why you want to build assets is so you can, number one, create a better life for your children and your loved ones. But more importantly, you want to ensure that that better life continues to transgenerational life. I hope that helps. Okay, having given you reason, I want to briefly talk about what an investment is not. Recently, all over the news, there was a news about CBEC, and lots of people were crying, and many people did videos about CBECs, and many people made comments. I also have my opinions, but I just didn't air it to the public. And this is my opinion. There's money in this Nigeria. People just don't understand what an investment is. Do you know from what we read in the news that people raised as high as 1.3 trillion naira for CBEX that went away? Imagine if that money was raised for genuine investments, genuine companies, genuine businesses. Imagine the ripple effect. Imagine the businesses that will benefit. Imagine the people that will be employed. Imagine the jobs that will be created. 1.3 trillion. Imagine the investments. Imagine the tax. Imagine the development. Imagine the jobs. Imagine the values that will be created. Okay, so there's money. Money is not the problem. Where to put it is where people have the problem. So an investment is not money doubling scheme. An investment is not a sprint. An investment is a marathon. It's something you do consistently. Anything that promises you an overnight return is a scam. That's not what we're asking you to invest in, because you can say, oh, they asked us to invest in assets, and you just think about an overnight money doubling scheme. That's not what I'm talking about. That's why I have to just talk about CBEX briefly. So there's money. Money is not the problem. Study, make research, and invest in assets that will, in the long run, benefit you. I'll now give you an example that pertains to me. Talking about an investment is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Many years ago, I went to a city called Ogbomoso and had the intention to buy a land to grow a cashew plantation. And I informed some of my friends about it, and we were shown land. I bought 50 acres, 2016, I think in the month of July or June. And I informed several of my friends about it, that, see this investment idea that I plan to go into. And you know what stopped many of them? They asked, how many years before I begin to get returns? I said, well, from research, maybe 6-7 years before you can get any substantial returns from the cashew plantation. So we intend to buy the land and plant cashew. Mind you, I trade, part of the agri commodities I trade was cashew. So I have an idea of what I'm talking about. It's something I've been doing for many years. So I was sure that this investment was going to be worth it for them. So many of them didn't do it. I'm talking about 2016. Fast forward, this is June 2025. This year, I went ahead, by the way. I bought 50 acres, I planted cashew, and I was sustaining it since 2017, 2018, bought the land 2016, started planting 2017, and it was tough. That's the truth. I'm not going to lie. It was tough. But guess what? The return I got from that farm this year was more than what an average rent will give you. I'm telling you. And guess what? I'm expecting to return to the farm and be getting my returns for at least the next 20-25 years. That seems to me like a good investment. So I want you to just cited those examples to give you an idea of what we're talking about. Okay? So when we say you should invest, do your proper research. I just gave you an example of my cashew plantation. And mind you, before then, I've been trading cashew nuts for several years before going to cashew planting. And I'm also an agronomist. So I have all those advantages. Invest in what you have researched well into. So let's proceed to some strategies I can like to suggest to you. Just some closing strategies that you want to consider. Some of them have been pointed earlier in the conversation. Some of them I've said one or two things about them. I would just want to brush through overall strategies to consider for investments that the future you will be proud of. Number one is avoid black tax. I've said something about that before. See, that uncle, that cousin will survive without you this one time. I'm telling you. You see, people have this tendency to make you feel guilty for their irresponsibilities. Like I said earlier, you decide the limits. Takers have no limits. You have the responsibility of putting the limits in place. It's your duty, it's your responsibility. Because takers have no limits. They will always make requests. They will always make demands. Have a budget for what you can give. And once that is off, that is it. Number 2, pay yourself first. Let me shock you. I heard it from Robert Kiyosaki that even when you are owing, pay yourself first. What does that mean? Remove money for investments first from every income, from every paycheck. Remove money for investment. This is the income. The first removal is savings for investment. Then you can spend what is left. Not spend, then remove, save whatever you can. No, the other way it is. So that's what is called pay yourself first. Okay, we are talking about investing in such a way that the future you'll be proud of. The first thing you want to do is pay yourself. No matter what is urgent, no matter who is pressing, take an amount and put in that investment account. That's your first step. Never ever play with that. Also, while you're saving for investment, you want to automate savings. Thankfully, a lot of the apps have a way of helping you to automate and even give you interest on your savings. Okay, I'm saying this for people who probably say, okay, what I'm saving for investment is not enough for the asset I want to invest into. No problem. You can have one of these apps where you automate that directly, automatically when your inflows comes, those money goes directly into the investment account. And that account is automatically invested for you. There are some apps who give upward of 20% that I'm aware of. Okay, so you want to take advantage of those. So the money is coming automatically, is going in, and it's not just lying dormant in your account. That's points I'm trying to raise. Putting money in an account, commercial account, it's the biggest error you are doing. You are actually spoiling that money. Let the money automatically go into an app where you are paid interest automatically, nothing less than 20%. Take note of that. So you want to automate your bank account from your paycheck directly into that investment savings account that is also paying interest. Please don't forget, and it can be minimum 20%. It can be less than 20%. I know apps that gives you that rate, so you can check out and do that. So while you are saving to get to an amount, you don't leave it in your commercial bank. Don't forget that. 2 more points. Be consistent. I said something like that earlier. See, this is one area that you need. Investment is not a sprint, it's a marathon. You just need to be consistent. Come rain, come shine. You want to make sure you are putting in the money. Oh, there's an actual bijak that comes in. Oh, there's an emergency. Nothing must stop you. It's a marathon. You must keep at it. When you are weak, you keep at it. When you are strong, you keep at it. You need that consistency. The last point I want to, it's more like an encouragement. Delayed gratification is very important. Most times, it's tempting when you see your friends do things and you can't do now. You live in an area, maybe that your friends lives in better area. You live in an apartment, maybe your friends live in a better apartment. You drive, or you probably don't even have anything to drive. Your friends are driving better cars and luxury. That delay, that discipline to delay that gratification, ultimately you will be wiser off. I have friends who, in quotes, were enjoying much earlier while I was hustling. that many of them now have to reach out to me from time to time. Ultimately, it's the person who's laugh last that matters. It doesn't matter who is laughing at you now. It doesn't really matter. As long as you know that you are investing, you know that you have a vision of where you are going and you are working towards that goal, it doesn't matter. I remember my business mentor used to tell me that his friends would laugh at him with the kind of car he was driving in his early days. They were driving big cars, they were flying first class, guess what? All that is history now. The things he's doing now, they are not able to do it. This life is humbling. I'm telling you, things that are trend now will no longer be trend again in the next few years. Things that are fashion now will no longer be fashion again in the next few years. If you get carried away by trends and fashions and events and sell your future, the future will be there waiting for you. I'm telling you, you need that discipline to sacrifice today so that you can enjoy tomorrow. I hope that helps. If you found value in this video, I would like for you to please click on the like button and the subscription button. It's the only reward you can give me. More importantly, you can share to your friends and loved ones so that they can also benefit. I took time to share more in this one. I know it's longer, but I hope it was worth it for you. I hope to see you again in the next video, and I hope you are following me. I hope you are subscribed to this channel. See you in the next video. Bye bye.